So, the ex-boyfriend smoked cigarettes. And so did my current girlfriend. Which really made me jealous. Because it was like something they had in common that I didn't have in common with them. And I've considered taking up smoking just so that I could be out there too. But it was just, I don't know. It's never appealed to me. It always makes my chest hurt, for some reason. So they would go out and smoke cigarettes on the porch, and I'd watch them through the window, and and one day they went to take a smoke break, and the ex-boyfriend, let's just call him Tim. Tim is his name. Tim left his phone on the desk, because he was airdropping a file to his computer. And so he said, well, while this does this, I'm going to go out and have a cigarette. And then she came out with him. I said, well, I have one too. So his phone was unlocked, sitting on his desk. And the nice thing about when somebody's smoking is that you know you have 10 minutes, because it's basically like a little clock. So I don't know exactly, like I said, I was loopy brain. So I don't know exactly what pushed me to decide to do this. I think that part of me was thinking, I don't know. I'm broken. I'm damaged, I guess. I don't know. But I went over to his phone and I switched. I went into his phone and changed the contact of my girlfriend, which had a heart next to it still, by the way. I changed it from her number to my number. I think what I was thinking was that I just want to have one night where, what I'll do is I'll change it for one night, and then that way I will, it'll be like I can see what types of things he's actually sending. I can't get a hold of my girlfriend's phone, so this way I can just see what types of things he sends to her, if any, if they talk at all. And so I did that very quickly, and I left the phone on the desk, and I came back and I sat back at my computer, and I just went about my day. And then I kind of forgot about it because nothing else had happened. That night, I got a text from him, and it was sort of an innocuous work question, and I texted back, and I was like, yeah, that there it is. And then I realized he is texting me thinking that I'm her, because I had sort of forgot that I had done that. And so I was like, okay, wait a minute. And I panicked because I didn't want now this to, because if he finds out that I was regretting doing this. So I was planning on just going tomorrow and changing it right back. And I was trying to just sort of not, because I knew this could potentially end my relationship. So I kept it going for a couple of messages. Just because I said I just need to buy myself time until I can go in there and change it back. And we only sent maybe 3 or 4 messages back and forth, but it was interesting because they were not, I don't know if this was my paranoid brain going crazy. They were not, there were things in there that could be debatably either or, in the content of his messages. I could see it going either way. Like, yes, you could send this to somebody who you were involved with still ongoing, but you also could talk this way to a coworker. I didn't know exactly. And so part of me was like, well, maybe I can just, if I just get some more information out of him, then maybe I'll figure it out. So again, I was all these things going around in my head. And remember, I'm sort of on medication, so I'm not making clear decisions. So the next day, I got a text from him on my phone, while I was at work and while we were all in the same room. He sent me a text that said, "I'm still thinking about us in the studio the other day." And I had to really, really try not to visibly react at all. But when do you ever have a panic attack that's so bad you sort of have an out-of-body experience? Sorry, it's just kind of, that's hard to remember this part. So I got up, because I couldn't be in that room anymore. I got up and I said, "I'll be right back," with a huff. And I went outside and I just walked around. I just paced wildly up and down the sidewalk. Back and forth, back and forth. Because at first I was angry at her. Like I said, I was feeling this was another part where I'm feeling a new emotion. It's just sort of blind, this like blind rage that I have never felt before in my entire life to this extent. And so what became dangerous about this situation was that now my perspective was, well, they started it. They crossed the line first. They betrayed me and they hurt me and they did this thing wrong. So now not that I can do whatever I want, but it's like don't I deserve to get a couple of punches in? Not literally, but don't I deserve to get something, you know? So I started texting him as me. The original message that he sent was still, "Hey, I'm still thinking about the studio the other day." And I wanted to send him something back that would hurt him, but that would not cause too much of a fuss. And so I tried to... I want to also confess, this is not my first time catfishing. And it's also not my first time catfishing as her. I think that it can be kind of a fun, creative exercise as a writer and as an actor to catfish, because it's like you have to pretend to be somebody else and you sort of have to inhabit that character, so to speak. So it was kind of fun trying to think of messages that were, you know, that were like something that she would say and got her sort of flirtatious, playful sort of spin, but also that were, you know, believable and that were conveying an emotion. So anyway, I texted him back something like, you know, he had said, "I'm still thinking about the other day in the studio," you know, wink, wink. There wasn't a wink emoji, but it was, the implication was there pretty clear. And I said, "Really? Because I'm not." You know? And he responded right away and he said, "Oh, damn, you know, okay. Guess I wasn't that good," or something like that. And I said, "I've had better. You know, I don't know. I just thought it would be a fun, playful thing that also wouldn't cause too much of a commotion." And he didn't answer that one. So I went back into the office. And the good news is that the boss is always there. So it's not, I wasn't worried about them being like, "Hey, did you get my text?" And I wasn't worried about him saying like, you know, that was a weird text that you sent me earlier or something like that. Maybe they did, I don't know. But I think what helped was that I do think that my girlfriend was trying to